because I know there is a lot of new followers out there, then hello, welcome, thank you for being part of my little internet family. If you've been here for a while, you know who you are. Thank you for sticking around. I know this is a crazy part of the internet, but we all have something in common, which is nice. So today's video is just going to be a general chit chat and update, just letting you know some sort of things. Also sort of like a bit of a mental health update, how we're getting on with the coronavirus at the moment. Yeah, I've got some notes just because I know that I need to refocus at some parts. So, as I'm filming this, it is the 19th of April. It's Sunday, and we've been in lockdown for around like 20 something days officially, but obviously because I have been signed off work, I've essentially been in lockdown for the past 6 months or so. Obviously it's a lot tighter now and we're not going out. We were for a little bit able to drive to the beach and take the dogs out to the beach, which is really close to us. There was no one there, but then they obviously changed the rules and said just go locally, and we managed to find a field near us that the dogs like, so we're still getting in our exercise, which is good. It's just really a weird atmosphere going into the shops at the moment for a food shop. You sort of like want to be in and out as quick as possible. I haven't mentioned COVID-19 a whole lot on my channel, and I won't be talking about it that much either, because I want this to be a place where you can come and escape from what's going on in the outside world. I know for me and my mental health, it's really important that I try and limit the amount of news that I intake about it. I will occasionally just go on like Sky News, either in the morning or in the evening, just to see what like the latest is, but I don't get hit up on figures and things like that. I don't go and see how many more people have died, and just for my own sanity, I like to keep that sort of little bubble around me, while still, you know, being realistic as to what's going on. As far as its impact on my actual mental health, obviously I was suffering before this happened, and I was slowly like starting to feel an improvement, and then when this has come into full force, it's just like hit me with a bomb, I guess. And like for the first couple of weeks especially, my anxiety and depression really went downhill again, which, you know, is understandable, and I want this to be sort of like a little PSA in a way for people who are suffering. Whether you've experienced mental health problems before this or you're just experiencing it for the first time, your feelings are totally normal and valid. Whether it be anxiety or depression, a mixture of both, or anything other mental health that you're experiencing, maybe it's like PTSD, or if you're unable to see loved ones at the moment. I know it's really hard, especially if you lose a loved one at this period of time. But we're not given a manual for how we're supposed to feel. You know, we've never experienced this before. The whole world is going through it for the first time. So in that sense, it's good to feel like you're not alone in that way, even if being at home in an isolation, it can feel like you're on your own. And that's where I think especially YouTube can give a big part of people socialising during the day, like TV as well. It can be the only other voice that someone hears within a day, and if I'm one of the only YouTube voices you've heard today, well, thank you for coming to my little part of the internet. I have a lot of other fun Disney vlogs and haul videos for you to go and watch, so make sure you check those out for something a little bit more lighthearted. This is like going to be my only serious video that I'm going to try and do around this topic. So yeah, I want to make this channel sort of like an escape for you to come to. But back to like how you're feeling. What you're feeling is totally okay and normal. I would recommend talking to anyone, whether it be a family member, a complete stranger, as in like a doctor, or, you know, one of the crisis helplines, or any of the mental health support websites. I'll really try and remember to put some links in the description bar, if you are feeling like you need to reach out to someone. There's tons of different things and ways to get in contact with people that can help you. if anything else, find a little community that you enjoy. There's for me, there's like a little Disney community that I'm part of, and I can go and sound off, I know, there if I need to. And yeah, sometimes talking to complete strangers that don't know you like in person but just on the internet can be really quite nice and refreshing. The same with if you're talking to like a counsellor or something like that. Another thing I'd suggest is just reach out to people you might not have reached out to in a while or ever, whether that be a random person you follow on Instagram. If you like one of their posts or you're seeing that they're having a hard time, just send them a nice little message. You know, it's really gonna brighten their day, and it's only taking you like a matter of seconds to do, and you'll feel good about it as well. So it's all that releasing the endorphins and creating like a positive outlook on things. And if it might be someone you went to school with that you haven't talked for in years, then maybe you want to reach out to them. If you thought, do you know what, I actually wish that we spoke more to each other at school, create those friendships now. Like, this is the perfect time to start talking to people, whether it be family or friends. Just try not to isolate yourself. I know it can be really difficult. You don't want to talk to anyone. You want to really, if you are suffering with mental health and depression, I know it can be really easy just to shut everyone out and to sort of lie your way through it and say that you're doing better than you are, and just like not telling people what's going on. And I was thinking about this. If you were to speak to someone that like you hadn't seen in years, you'd be more than happy saying to them, I got signed off work because I've broken my leg, or I had this injury, I hurt my back, that sort of thing. But I know even for me, it was really hard to say to people, I've been signed off work because of my mental health, because I suffer with depression and anxiety. And it shouldn't be like that. It should be as open a conversation as anything else. And I know I even create a stigma around my own mental health and how other people see and perceive me, and I'm just continuously trying to work on that. But at the moment it can be particularly tough for people. So if you're seeing that someone's like put out that they're having a bad day on Instagram or Facebook, just message them, just leave a comment, just do it privately, however you want to do it. But like, you don't have to go into like full-on conversation, but it lets that person know that someone's caring about you and thinking of them. And if it was the other way round, you'd really appreciate that from them. So that's how I try and see it. But yeah, if you can, still get out for your walks. And again, I like to just try and set myself a task every day, and I was doing this before quarantine, is what I was talking to my counsellor with at work. Trying to set myself a little task every day, whether that be just doing a load of laundry. It used to be like just getting out to the shops, or editing a YouTube video, or reading a couple of chapters of a book, doing things that you enjoy, doing things that you know you can possibly achieve in that day, just to give yourself something to tick off. I love to make lists, and when I do, I always put something on there that I've already done or I'm about to do immediately. Like, if I've done the ironing earlier, I'll put it on the list and immediately check that off, because it's something that you can look at and be like, yeah, I did do something today, even if it wasn't on my list in the first place, it is now. Whether your task is to literally just get out of bed, eat something properly, have a shower, you know, brush your hair, any of those things are totally valid tasks that you can put on your checklist. And if you do them, great. If you don't, there's always tomorrow. If you don't get out of bed that day, that's fine. I try not to beat myself up for those days that I need days to myself, and like my more self-care days. So if I can't get out of bed that day, okay, that's my body telling me that I needed to stay in bed that day. The next day, I'm pretty sure that the next day I'm going to be more productive. I've had days where I will just sit on the couch and just scroll through my phone for hours, and I feel totally unproductive. I feel really crap about it, but in the back of my mind I'm thinking, this is something you need to do, this is something your brain is telling you to do. And the next day I do a list and I'm well productive that day. So sometimes you just need to not be hard on yourself and have those days of doing nothing. So obviously there is a lot of like serious health things going on at the moment, and I don't want anyone to feel like their mental health is less important than what someone else is going through. I don't want someone to sit there and think, well, I shouldn't be like pitying myself or taking this time for myself, because there's people out there working frontline, there's people out there who relatives are dying, there are people out there who are suffering a lot worse than I am. I don't want anyone to think that their situation is necessarily worse than someone else's, because like I said, your feelings are valid, you're feeling that in the moment, and your own health is just as important as anyone else's, because at the end of the day, like, you're your number one fan, you are the person that is there for you all the time, and it's you. And one of the things that I really learned from my therapist was flipping the situation. If someone was to come to you and say, I'm really not doing great, how would you react to them? You would probably, most of the time, be really comforting to them, you'd be really supportive and encouraging to them. But why, if it was the other way around, would that not be okay? You know? So that's what I try and think. Like, if someone was to come to me with a mental health problem, I'd be really supportive. And, you know, it's okay for me to feel those things as well. Yes, there are people who probably are going through worse things, but your feelings are still valid, and it's okay to feel the way that you feel. And I don't want anyone to feel like they shouldn't be feeling the way that they are, because other people are out there with seemingly more distressing situations, which there are, yes, but you know what I mean. As far as how we are dealing with quarantine, we are just sticking it out. Darren's working from home now. I'm just like on the road to recovery and trying to sort things out. My parents are still stuck in Florida. They've been away since the start of March, and luckily we have the 2 dogs, so they're not paying for kennel fees for them, which is where they usually put them when we're away. But all their international flights keep getting cancelled. They're flying with Virgin, and they keep wanting to reroute them. They're not flying out of Orlando. The closest is Miami, although they haven't actually directed them on a flight to Miami. They've tried to get them to go to Atlanta, which they had a flight booked for, but then the connection to the UK got cancelled. They wanted them to fly into New York, and they were like, no way are we going into the epicenter of America. So they quickly declined that. They were like, we'd rather stay here and just like see it out. So don't know when they're coming back. They hopefully will be back in May, but who knows when that will be. They feel like they've sort of been cheated out of a holiday, because even though we've said to them, like, you're in a really great place, you're in great weather, you've got a pool, but like my mum's still like, because they're in a villa, she's still like cleaning, she's still cooking, she's not really getting the holiday that they imagined, which is sad for them. But like I said, think of on the bright side and the positive things. We pretty much FaceTime each other every day, and we're like, any news? Not really, not a lot going on. But yes, as far as channel wise, what you will be seeing here, I have a whole new set of vlogs, Disney cruise vlogs, that I actually still need to edit from March and get uploaded for you, so they will be coming soon on our Disney cruise. And yeah, just some more like homey videos. I've got some Disney pin videos. What else? I have recently just surpassed 1,000 subscribers. I have about 1,400 at the moment, which is super cool, and I just want to thank everyone that's ever supported this channel or liked a video, commented. Even if you've not commented, like, but you've subscribed, thank you for just doing that and being like a silent viewer. If you haven't subscribed, why not? It's free. Like, you really help if you just subscribe to someone. You don't have to watch every single one of my videos. I know I have quite a varied taste in what I like to record, but if you would just hit the subscribe button, that would mean a lot. And leave me a little comment below, say hi, let me know who you are, how you're doing, and yeah, I hope you somewhat can relate to this video and that it's helped in some way, and I will see you with a much more positive video next time. Bye guys!